Welcome back to the Bourbon Note, everybody. We're live again. It's been a little while, but let's get into it. All right, thanks for being here, everybody. It's been a little while. I got to shake the live stream rust off a little bit, but thankfully, I think I do have a couple of friends possibly joining. I did open this up to a couple of whiskey pals here, so we'll see if anybody drops in. In the meantime, tonight I was going to do a bottle haul video because I know it's kind of a trendy thing that a lot of people do. I do them sometimes. This month I've actually had a pretty good bottle haul, so I figured I was going to make a video, and then I was like, you know what, let's just do it live. But before we get into that, let's see who is in the chat. We've got Piper, John, Peter White, Tater Dom, Steve Joes, Jeff Castle. Let's see. Bourbon and Beards, welcome. Baconator, what's happening? All right. So we got some people hanging out here. So tonight I am going to do the bottle haul. There's going to be some sample giveaways. And the samples are actually going to be from the bottle haul. That's kind of what I usually do lately with the sample giveaways. You know, whatever I bought recently or whatever I'm reviewing recently is kind of what I end up giving away. But I've got a decent enough bottle haul that I've got 3 sample packs worth of bottles to do here. So I think tonight what I'll do is when it comes time to give them away, typically what I do is, this is anybody who's in Patreon who hasn't won within the last month is already involved in the raffle. $5 in a super chat will get you an entry to the raffle, or if you sign up for the Patreon, you get involved in every raffle I do every single month, usually 2, sometimes 3. So Patreon's the better deal, but if you're going to do that, or if you're going to send a super chat, please don't do it through Apple, because if you do it on an Apple device, if you do it on an Apple device, Apple's doing this new thing with Patreon especially, where if you sign up for a Patreon account through Apple billing, they take 30%. So Apple's just doing their best to screw people over. So anyway, just food for thought here. I do have a guest backstage. Do we get the thumbs up? Are you ready to go? All right, he's ready to go. Everybody from Bourbon Drop, please welcome Myron. How's it going?
What's up, Ben? Can you hear me good, man?
I can. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you great. No, I only asked because when I came home, I didn't have enough time to like hook up the computer and everything down here, so I'm just doing the phone thing. So I was just hoping the audio was good.
Yeah. I can hear you loud and clear. How you been doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. I've been a little bit busy, so I put in the Whiskey 6 text message thread. Sorry for being MIA, but I want to make sure to invite you guys on here tonight because I feel like it's been a while. I kind of missed most of the last one, and then you weren't able to come on the one before that, so
yeah, no,
so
it's
good
all
to
good.
Catch up.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you're talking about doing a live whiskey haul because as you see, I got some of the newest ones I've picked up.
Well, so you just did a bottle haul. And yeah. I was going to ask you about that because you said in yours that you were having a hell of a time finding the Larceny C924, and I'm in the same boat. Usually the Larcenys are super easy to find around here, and I did come across one bottle, but I didn't buy it because of the bottle haul that I already had going on. I spent $400 at the store that day, so the extra $65 for the Larceny barrel proof, I was like, I'm just going to wait until next time. I've gone way over budget here, so.
No, I feel you. A buddy of mine, he was actually in New York over the Thanksgiving holiday, and he hit me up and he was like, hey, man, I found it. He was like, do you want it? I was like, yeah. So he picked me up that bottle and he picked me up another bottle. I forgot. I'd have to look back through my text. So I'm starting the new month off good. Okay,
good deal. We got Troy from Baker Drinks here, Jeff Castle. I already said Jeff Castle. Marco V. Steven Scone from Shelf Sippers. go over to Steven's channel at Shelf Sippers and watch his recent video. He did the same video that I did recently. I started a new series called Batch versus Barrel where I'm doing like a single barrel product versus the batch version. And Troy from Baker Drinks suggested I might have a trash palette after he watched that video, because I don't know if you've seen it, but I did Old Forester 100 versus the Old Forester 100 store picks. And
no.
I picked the Old Forester 100 shelfer.
Wow. And I think that Black Label is one hell of a bottle, man. Maybe it's in our minds. Just like, hey, look, to everybody in the chat, what's up? I can't see you because I'm doing it through my phone. But, you know, just like the whole laser cold thing, that was the other bottle he picked up. So he picked up the LLME, the Russells. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard a little. So what is that actually? Could you explain that? Because I don't really even, I've seen some videos on it and then it gets so complicated. I'm just like, I don't know. So do I need to sit here and listen to this? Am I going to do this?
What it boils down to is, now supposedly Jason C heard that it was a rumor. So Jason C from the Mash and Drum, he heard it was a rumor. He reached out to Rare Bird 101 to confirm the rumor, and the rumor is supposed to be true. Now, what the rumor is at the same time that they were bottling the Russell's 15, some of the stash that didn't go into the Russell's 15 was bottled behind it, watered down, I guess, and batched with some of the 10-year-old. So they say it's good. Supposedly it's been confirmed. You know, I mean, when you look at the 10-year-old, it has to have 10 on the label because that is the youngest whiskey in the batch. Could they have thrown some of that older Russell's 15 in there? It's a possibility.
Sure, yeah. You know, that's what I said in one of my recent videos. I think I was doing the review of Elijah, geez, I had a complete brain misfire there. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, the C924.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about how, you know, everybody freaks out when they get below 12 years. But if you got a bunch of bottles or barrels of bourbon there, and you've got some 12-year barrels and you've got some 11-year barrels, just because the 12-year ones are a year older doesn't automatically make them better. No. And by sticking to a 12-year age statement, it meant that Elijah Craig was never allowed to use these awesome barrels that were 11 years, 6 months, you know, and it just frees them up to do that. So I think it's actually kind of a good thing, as long as they're still batching good whiskey. And I guarantee you half the people that are complaining about that, if you just put a 12-year age statement sticker on there over the 11-year, they would have nothing to say about half of these releases.
Oh, they'd be happy as a hog in shit. I'm telling you, they wouldn't know the difference. Look, it's hard. I'm telling you, man. I that 8-year that I got that was a store pick, I put that up against any 12-year, 13-year. I mean, it's hard to know the difference, especially when it comes to Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs. Have you had a chance to sample the new toasted barrel proof single barrels?
No, I haven't. And so I'm really looking forward to that, actually, because when the toasted barrel came out, that was one of the ones that I was most looking forward to, because I'm an Elijah Craig fan, and it just wasn't for me. I had the one bottle and I was kind of one and done with it. You can get it for $44 around here at like Sam's Club and Costco. But it's just one of those ones where, I don't know, it's just off profile for me, and I just didn't really vibe with it, so I just haven't gone back to it. But I would definitely be interested in a barrel proof version of that, so I'll be looking out for one of those for sure. But
you know what, Ben? The regular toasted barrel, it was overhyped. It just didn't do it for me. But the toasted rye, that's a different story. Is it $30 better? That's a little questionable, but that is a damn good bottle. But I did sample some of that toasted single barrel at a bourbon share, and I wasn't that impressed. I was not that impressed with it.
And it's barrel proof, right?
Yeah, it's a barrel proof single barrel, and it's a toasted barrel. The person had I think she had an 8.5 year, or a little over 8.5, maybe 8 and 9 months. And I tasted it and I was kind of like, okay. You know, like it didn't, like I wanted it to wow me and it didn't.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had with the original. I had a pour of the original toasted barrel. This is a few years ago now, I think before even starting the channel. And I was super excited because I had it at a bar and I had a pour of it and I had a little hungover that day, I think. May had a little cotton mouth from the night before just drinking. You know, sometimes the next day it just doesn't taste the same. And I just figured, I was like, it's probably just me. Maybe whiskey just doesn't taste very good today. And then I bought a bottle of it, and it's just, yeah. And it grew on me a little bit throughout the course of drinking the bottle, but it wasn't a big fan. I'm going to get into the chat here real quick. Just say hi to some people. Let's see. Peter White, I saw a bourbon hunt video that had a Costco where there was like 10 skids of Larceny Barrel Proof C924. I'd be interested to know where that is. There's a Costco near me that had a full, just like multiple cases stacked up this high of the B524, which is a good bottle, and they're selling it for like $50. So, hey Ben, hope you're doing well. Benjamin Cook, I hope you're doing well as well. Steve Joes stumbled onto 2 LLMEs, cracked open one, and will admit it's a good Russell's 10, so there may be something to the rumor. Let's see. Troy from Baker Drinks, by the way, congrats to both of you on advancing to the Sweet 16. Yeah, I did. Troy, I haven't been able to keep up with watching it live, but I've been keeping up with your brackets, and I have not seen Grandpa Benny's Brown Tree blend in the elimination rounds yet, so that's good. Let's see. Larceny Barrel Picks at Thomas Liquor in St. Paul. Okay, that's a good liquor store. Are those Larceny Barrel Picks? Oh, are those the new, Brian, are those the new single barrel Larceny Barrel Proofs? Because I definitely want one of those too. Joe Litzow. See any MGM Buffalo Trace store picks up towards the cities? MGM Buffalo Trace store, no. So MGM, they tend to, they share store picks. MGM is a chain around Minnesota, and they tend to share store picks, but I have not seen any. Brian Vaughn says he has seen them. So I will definitely be looking out for one of those. MGM, just for local Minnesotans here, is a great store, but at the same time, their whole bourbon pricing thing is just kind of a lawless wasteland. I don't understand it. Like, it's a chain, but they're each independently owned, so they kind of set their own prices at each store. So you'll go to one store and it's like all these great prices and great bottles, and then you go to another store and it's like, what is happening here? At like an MGM 3 towns over had this bottle for half the price, or you know what I mean? It's just a weird sort of thing. And speaking of Minnesotans, I will also at some point here be updating some info on the Ray County Whiskey Club raffle that's going on this weekend. On Saturday, that's a chance to enter the raffle and win some absolutely monster bottles, and they've got probably a couple hundred bottles to choose from. So, big allocated whiskey raffle coming up this weekend in the next town over from me, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We do have another guest in the backstage. Should we bring him in? Do we have the thumbs up? Are you ready? All right, thumbs up from Bourbon School. It's Brian.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up, Brian?
What's happening?
Not much. How are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Doing really, really well. Yeah. What's new with you? I saw your video. I saw your video today too, Myron. That barrel with the ice wine finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
I didn't see it yet. Is it super sweet though? Because ice wine is like sugary sweet.
It's super sweet, and that's one of the things I said in the video. Is like when I said, "Will it always be on the bar?" Like when I do my little spiel at the end, I was like, if I'm really looking for something, like I got to be in the mood for it, and if I'm out and it really pairs well with the stick, then I might buy another one. But if not, then no, because like it's super sweet. It's good. It's really good, but you really have to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, I mean, they do. So, like, we're right by, Canada, and up at Niagara on the Lake, there's a lot of wineries, and, like, late fall into the winter, they do the ice wine, and it's, like, syrupy and really, real grapey and real sweet, and it's, like, I can't do it. And, I can see a bourbon getting finished in something like that, maybe going a little too far as the sweetness goes, but yeah, not a fan of ice wine myself.
I'll tell you what,
I've never had it. I don't even know what it is.
So
it's just a wine that they make from grapes that have been frozen on the vine, so that water freezes up. And what they do is they squeeze the grapes once the water freezes up, and then you don't have the water. You don't have all of that water like diluting the sugars in the grapes.
Right. So it's like super concentrated and really sweet. Like it's. I am not a fan because it's almost syrupy. Like when you start drinking it, it's almost syrupy. It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
So real quick, Jake said you got one in North Mankato. Okay, that answers my question. I was going to ask you if you got that one on the north side or the one on the south side down by River Hills, but that I see it says North Mankato for $31. Okay, so I do have to do a bottle haul because my raffle giveaway tonight is going to involve the bottles.
Oh, nice.
I've got 3 different packs here. So I might have to go full screen here though in order. Well, no, I think I can do this with.
Well, I'll tell you what,
the box screen.
I can't really see my screen because it's not full screen and it's on the phone, so it's about that big. So I'm going to try and make it full screen if you want to go ahead and get started, or put me backstage. It's up to you.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Ben, do what you got to do, man.
I'll put you backstage while you get your setup here, and then I'll go full screen here, but you'll still be on here, Brian, so feel free to chime in.
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go, folks. This is the bottle haul for November, and I've already released reviews of a couple of these, so there won't be a big surprise on a couple of these. This one, bam, did get the OGD 16-year. I got to take the chat off of the screen real quick. Okay. So OGD 16-year, I did pay $200 for this, which I know it runs from like $180 to $200. It was one of those ones where I had to pick it up. Brian, I texted you when I got it asking if you or Lauren were looking for it, because I know Lauren is a big old granddad fan, so I didn't know if she was looking for one for like a collector's purpose or... You
know what? That price tag would absolutely be a no for her, but it's like you said you got it for $200?
Yeah.
Because some places around, I know the retail is $190 or $200, but some places around here it's up $220, $240 in some places. So, which is wild to me for an OGD, but
yeah, I wouldn't do another one, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's 16-year age stated 100 proof juice from Jim Beam, so
for sure.
I'm going to do these in kind of packs here because I'm going to divide these up into sample packs. So next up, bam, I did get the Knob Creek Bourbon and Rye, which I don't know, it's had some lukewarm reviews at best. I did just review this today, so that'll be coming out within the next couple weeks. But nothing special about this one, but I did go to a Black Friday sale at a liquor store, so they had everything for 30% off. Okay. And so I paid like $35 for this. So
nice.
And then, bam, I went to Michigan for one day a couple weeks ago, and I got the 3-cord. I got to figure out how to line these up so the light still shows on it. 3-cord, this is a 99 proof Pinot Noir barrel. This review actually comes out tomorrow, and so you can get my my thoughts on that in tomorrow's review. So this is going to be one sample pack. So I figured for each one of these is going to have an expensive, rare one, and then just a couple of basic ones that maybe you want to try before you buy or you can't get in your area. So next one up, bam, I already have released a review of this, but this is the Little Book, what is it called? The Infinite Edition 1. This is an absolute banger. This is so good. Every
single person that I've seen a review of says it's great.
And you know what? I actually posted on my title of the video that WhiskeyTube is divided because I have actually seen a couple. I was getting that vibe at first too, that everybody loves it. But I have actually seen a few reviews where people are saying it's a letdown. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is excellent.
Yeah, I know Lauren really liked it too. So.
Yeah, so this is juice from Booker No actually distilled some of the whiskey in this blend. Booker, Freddie, and Fred. So it's 3 generations. And what they're doing is they're making this into like one giant infinity blend. And like each edition is a release of a few barrels or a few, some bottlings of those particular blends. And so it's really cool. It's super interesting. There's some like 18-year stuff all the way down to like 8-year stuff, but it's a great blend. This was also $200. So I bought the old Granddad in this the same day. That's why you weren't on here yet, Brian, but I told Myron I did finally find a Larceny Barrel Proof C924, but I passed on it because I already had $400 worth of whiskey in my cart.
You were in too deep at that point.
Yeah, 2 bottles. So another one, this was just one I've been interested in for a while. Bam, this is just the regular Shelfer Jack Daniel's single barrel rye.
Oh.
And I keep hearing that the Jack Daniel's rye is really good. Just the Shelfer bottle, like the $20 bottle. Mm-hmm. And this was also one at the Black Friday sale. Let me, can you get this out of the way for a second? At the Black Friday sale, I don't think we're going to get much for light on this one. There we go. So I figured I'd try it. I ended up paying like $35 for it, and so I have not reviewed it yet, but that'll be coming up soon. So nothing special about that, but this is a 2019 bottle, so if you've never had that. So this will be another pack along with this one. Bam, this is one from Michigan as well. This is, it's kind of hard to see, but it's called Varchaz Single Barrel.
Whoa.
I do have a review of this coming out.
Is that a whale tail on the top?
No, it's an eagle with its wings. Okay. It does look like a whale tail, though.
It does a little bit, yeah.
That's exactly what that looks like from here. But I saw this on the shelf. It's a Michigan-based distillery. This one happens to be, and I'll talk about this in my review of it, but this one happens to be some MGP juice before they started distilling their own. So I paid like $55 for it. It's a 102 proof MGP single barrel for $50 or $55. Nice. So I was like, it's a cool bottle.
It's a cool bottle.
MGP, yeah, MGP single barrel juice. How bad can it be, right?
Right.
So I have reviewed that. It's good. So this will be another sample pack. And then I have 2 more, and I'll have to add another bottle to it. So the one I have, bam, I just filmed my review of this today. This is a Nulu single barrel double oaked, 116.6 proof, and it's a 7-year, 6-month bourbon. The double oak finish was 2 years on this thing.
Oh my God.
Wild. Yeah, this is a wild whiskey. I just filmed my review of this today. So by the way, before I get too much further into this, the $5 super chat will get you an entry into the raffle. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you're already in the raffle. And if you subscribe to Patreon at the $5 level, you get 2 entries into every raffle I do as long as you're a subscriber. So however way you want to go about doing that, if you're interested in winning one of these. But if anybody who is in the live chat tonight wins tonight, you can pick which sample set you want.
Oh, nice.
So that's how I'll do that. And spoiler alert, this is a freaking amazing whiskey. This is really a wild one. All right. Runs about $102 at my local store, which is usually a little more on the pricey side because it's a muni, but yeah. So if that greases the skids, like that, that meme of the most interesting man in the world, where he's like, I don't always do something. It's like, I don't always give away the results of my upcoming reviews, but when I do, it's to entice people to give me money. So that's my spiel. And then I could not pass this up on the 30% off sale. I was going to buy it anyway. This is, for my Minnesota folks, bam, this is the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor Paul Sutton bottled in bond banger. So this is a 100 proofer, bottled in bond, of course. I think it's age stated at like 7 years. And Paul Sutton is a new brand. Look, they got the Minnesota Vikings logo on the back. So
is that just,
you know me,
like a cardboard box, or is that like more substantial?
It's not wood, but it's not just like flimsy cardboard. It's a good, formidable, solid cardboard. Like, well, you got to use this little ribbon thing to open it up.
Okay, yeah.
And then the bottle falls out on live TV. But yeah, it's pretty good. I actually did sample this, and I like it, so I'm definitely looking forward to exploring the Paul Sutton brand a little bit more. Yeah. So if you do happen to, that's all I have. I don't have the 3rd bottle yet. I figure by the time I get through all these raffles, I'll hopefully have the Larceny C924, so I'll include that. But if anybody wins tonight that's in the chat and they want to try these 2 bottles, I'll throw in like the Elijah Craig C924 or something recent as the sample with that. So that's the bottle haul for November. And get this back up in here. And I'm actually going to pour something real quick too. Let me get out of this mode here. Myron is back.
Hey, all right.
And there we go. So, guys, if you are in the chat, I'm sorry I haven't seen the chats because I went full screen while I was doing the bottle haul so I could try to position them so they look nice. I did see that Rare Barrel is in the house.
Oh, yeah.
So, Rare Barrel is doing their first live stream this Friday. So, check them out. And let's see here. Hold on a second. We've got OGD 16 isn't too bad. Not sure it's worth the price tag though. Yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was actually really good. I think I was in the minority on. Are you guys hearing a noise?
Yeah,
that was something
vibrating.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, I think I was in the minority on that one because I actually thought it was really good. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people said it was all right, but it was, you know. But yeah, I really liked it. I didn't have the same experience as some of the reviews I saw that picked up some sweetness on it because I just got spice, and more spice. Yeah. But a really good, nice, deep, rich oak note, and I thought it was really good. Nice. Again, I don't know if it's a $200 bourbon, but Thomas Anderson says he just popped open the cork on an OGD 16 a few minutes ago for my birthday. Well, hey, happy birthday, Thomas Anderson. That's awesome. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy birthday, man. Steven Scone saw it for $2.20 today. Hey, Steve, I'm assuming it's Steve from Rare Barrel. Can I tell these guys where you're going to be on Saturday so I can try to sweeten the deal to get some fellow Minnesotans out and about?
Do you got somebody backstage, man?
Oh, do I? Let me see. I'm terrible at that. I never hear the noise.
There might be a cowboy backstage.
Oh! America's cowboy hat is in the house. Welcome from Whiskey Wars and Mash and Metal. Sean is in the house.
What's happening, Sean?
Boy, if we get Bobby in here, we're not going to need to do a planning stream. We can just do it live. Yeah. Then again, right our planning streams get a little wild, so we maybe don't want to.
I was going to say, if we could get a guy pounding an axle in here, we'd have a pretty good show.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Our planning stream is kind of stuff that gets you demonetized, though, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a hurry, I think.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
Ben, when are you releasing that video of the one with the eagle on it? Because I see that all the time. And I was going to buy it because the box, on the outside of the box, the eagle looks like the bottle looks right. But then I opened the box and the eagle looked kind of plastic. And I was like, oh, man.
You know what? That's what I bought this and I left it with my parents because I flew out to Michigan just for a day and flew back. And they were out there and they were driving home, so I just left it all with them. And I remember looking at this and I was like, the whole time home I was thinking, like, man, that bottle would be so much cooler if the eagle wasn't like cheap-ass plastic. And then I got home and realized it's actually not.
Okay.
So it's not like some type of matte paint?
I don't know, but it's not like, it's a little, I don't know that it's the same as like a Blanton's topper, like metal, but it's definitely more solid than I gave it credit for.
All right.
The Bourbon Jerk is in the house. What's happening, Tom? He's got a live stream tomorrow. So Rare Barrel Whiskey said I can say where they're going to be on Saturday. They're going to be at the same place I'm going to be on Saturday. That's the Wright County Whiskey Club Rare Whiskey Christmas Raffle. Excuse me. So anybody who is in here that is from Minnesota, I'm going to get into this a little bit towards the end of the stream and do a little spiel for them. But they've got... It's a rare whiskey raffle that they do every year for Christmas. All the proceeds go to local charities in the area, and they auction off a ton of bottles. Just real quick, I'm going to go full screen and just show, just for a few seconds here, excuse me, the list of bottles So if you go full screen on whatever you're viewing this on, if you can't read it, I'll read some of these off. But Van Winkle Special Reserve, Thomas H. Handy, Heaven Hill Heritage 18-year, Jack Daniel's Coy Hill, Russell's 15, Maker's Cellar Age, Old Fitzgerald, Old Forester 10-year, Weller 12, Little Book Infinite, Russell's 13-year, Blanton Straight from the Barrel, Masters Keeps. I missed one in there somewhere. Parker's Heritage, a bunch of Wellers, some Stagg Juniors. So a bunch of stuff. Baker's 13-year, Elmer T. Lee. And these are all the ones if you're there in person. This is going to be in Monticello at the Nordic Brew Pub, which is a great venue anyway. And they do the drawing. So here's the thing. $10, go to the website. $10 will get you an entry into the drawing. So every $10 you donate, and again, all the money goes to charity, will get you an entry into the drawing, and you're not winning a chance to purchase one of these bottles. You're winning a chance to just go pick from whatever's left and walk out the door with it. No extra purchase necessary. So it's really awesome. And you can do a not in-person one. And so like the not in-person list, they've got Old Rip Van Winkle 10-year, Willett Family Estate 10-year, Four Roses Limited Edition 135th Anniversary, Weller CYPB, Heaven Hill Select Stock Brandy Finish, Weller 12, Rock Hill Farms, Masters Keep, bunch of Stagg Juniors, Jack Daniel's 10-year. They just got a ton of stuff.
Wow. That's quite a list.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so if you live in Minnesota, I would definitely encourage you to go check that out. So I'm going to be there on Saturday, in Monticello. Rare Barrel is going to be there. I don't know who all from Rare Barrel, if the whole group is going to be there, or so Steve, if you could put in the comments. But if you want to stalk Rare Barrel, you can do so on Saturday at Nordic Brew Pub in Monticello, Minnesota. And there is a link. I should have probably put that in the thing tonight, but maybe somebody could figure that out. It's going to be Steve and Denise. Okay, that'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in person. So anyway, that's my spiel. Look up the Wright County Whiskey Club on Facebook, or go to the video that I just released recently promoting it, and there's links in the description where you can enter the raffle. So anyway, had to get it out there because those guys are friends and they're great people and it's great causes and it's great bottles. So
nice.
Anyway, getting back to the live stream here. Sean, what do you have going on?
Well, I bought something that I would not normally buy, but I was in the mood for it, I guess you would say. I got this guy. It's a liqueur. It's like apple cider liqueur.
Yeah.
Tis the season, summer solstice, winter solstice, whatever the thing is we're doing. What is it? I forget what's coming up, but anyway.
Nothing.
Yeah, I think it's the U-Log thing.
Yeah.
Whatever the Vikings did. Yeah. So I guess I'll try it straight first. Yeah, but it's a apple cider liqueur, probably incredibly sweet. But my thought was I'll pair it with Wild Turkey 101, see how that goes.
That might be better enjoyed over an ice cube. Those sweet liqueurs.
Well, it's pretty cold down in my basement. Actually, it's not crazy sweet. It's actually kind of enjoyable. That's surprising. Usually they're like gag you sweet. But I'm still going to pour 101 over top of it. Also, cheers, Piper John Shred. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shredward is in the house. What's happening, Shredward? Killer raffle almost makes me wish I was in Minnesota. Yeah, you can do a not in-person raffle, but I don't know. I think you might still have to pick the bottles up in person at some point. I can't verify that they'd be willing to ship, because then that costs money, to ship every bottle.
There is an oily
$15
sheen on the top of the liquid, which is interesting.
Interesting. Is it better or worse than the Winter Jack?
I don't know. I've never had anything like this. So
the Winter Jack is super, super sweet. I was not a fan.
The Winter Jack almost reminded me of there's like a cherry Gatorade note in that, which I know it's supposed to be like winter spice. I've got a bottle down here that's been open for years. I think I still have it somewhere.
I bought a bottle to review it last Christmas time and haven't touched it since. There's 2 pours taken out of that. One for me, one for Lauren, and we haven't touched it since.
Somehow mixing it with 101 made it worse.
Mixing it with 101 made it worse?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think I just ruined Perfectly Good 101.
I would imagine. But did it make the liqueur better?
No, that's what I'm saying. The liqueur was better on its own. It's somehow the combination is worse than the sum of its parts. Yeah, so.
Interesting.
So my review that's coming out tomorrow is this 3-chord Pinot Noir finish.
Okay.
Which I'm having right now. I think I was a little unfair to it in my review.
See, that's why I haven't bought 3-chord before. You know what it was, Ben? It was the neck pour. It was the neck pour.
Yeah.
That's what it was, yeah.
You gotta watch out.
There we go.
All the science.
The only 3-chord that I've had that I enjoyed was, and this was on Laura and Troy's recommendation, the honey cask, the corn whiskey that's like honey finished. That
Weird.
Was good. It is weird, but it's good. I mean, it's sweet, but I enjoyed it. It made like good like summer drinks, like mixed drinks, and it was nice to sip. But other than that, I haven't had much of theirs that I really think is great.
Yeah, this is my first one. Like I said, I went to Michigan a couple weeks ago, and so I figured while I was out there, I'd snag some stuff that you can't find in Minnesota because they don't sell 3-chord in Minnesota. And so I was like, well, I've been meaning to try it. It's MGP juice, I think. No, it's from Kentucky. But it's sourced and then finished, and I was like, and it wasn't expensive. It was like $45 or something. So I was like, try a new brand, get some content out of it.
Yeah.
You know,
What the source is.
We've got picks all over the place here.
it just says distilled in Kentucky, perfectly tuned in Michigan. Yeah, I thought it was a little weak on the first review of it, and I guess tomorrow I kind of talked about like maybe it's a beginner's whiskey. I'm gonna try a little bit more of this.
What's the
It's
proof
not
on
bad though.
What's the proof
99.
99?
Yeah, I thought it drank a little less than that. So, I don't know. Do you guys ever have that when you do a review and then you go back to the bottle later on, you're like, I maybe trashed that a little more than I should have. And I don't trash this one. But like, you go back. I've been thinking about doing like some...
Well, that's because
like
the bottle opened up, Ben.
Yeah, well it is. It's the neck pour. So,
You guys.
It's definitely the neck pour.
Yeah.
so I've been thinking about doing like a redemption review, like... I didn't like this at first, or the opposite. Ones that I liked the first few times I had it, and then all of a sudden I noticed something in it, and I never was able to look at it the same.
Yeah, I had a Heaven's Door that I could not stand for years, and I tried to get through that bottle, and finally, when it got halfway down in the bottle, it came alive. I don't know what it was. It just came alive, and I couldn't believe it. Like the bottle had changed so much. Because in the beginning, I was getting nothing but like this black licorice note, and I can't stand that in the bourbon. But then it got halfway down in the bottle, and it just flipped, and it became a really nice bottle, mellowed out and everything.
Maybe the whiskey didn't change. Maybe you just grew as a person.
Your palate matured.
We all know,
he
does not believe in whiskey changing, so you're not going to convince him.
I didn't say I don't believe in it changing. I don't believe in the neck pour.
Hey, Ben.
Russ L, cheers. Steve Joe
Ben,
says, I have a 3-chord single barrel bourbon honey toast finish store pick, 115.3 proof, 4-year MGP. That's fantastic. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben, do you mind if I pose a question to the chat?
Sure, go ahead.
So, as you can see, I've got a Weller 12 in front of me. I've done a review on Weller 12. I think it's a good bottle. For the price that it goes for on secondary, I don't think it's worth that. But I am thinking about trading this bottle. So I don't think I'm going to open it. I am going to shoot a video with it in the video. But since I really don't trade a lot on secondary, what should I be asking for this bottle? And if need be, should I throw in like an Eagle Rare or a Blanton's?
That's a good... I think it really all just depends on what you're trading it for. Like if somebody's giving you, I don't know, something of equal value as far as maybe like a midpoint between secondary and retail. Because I can understand trading it for something a little more expensive than retail. Mm-hmm. But you know.
Yeah,
Like this thing is $102. If I saw a Weller 12 for $100, I would maybe pull the trigger on it just because I want to get a bottle so I can do different videos with it and include it in like 12-year flights and stuff like that. So I know it's normally about 50 or 60, maybe $60, I think, is it? Isn't it like
at the Virginia ABC, it was $40.99.
Yeah.
$40.99 before taxes. So like I was wondering, should I be asking for like a stag for it? Like not a George T stag, but like a stag?
Junior,
those are only like $50.
Yeah, I mean value-wise, yeah, but I would never trade a stag for a Weller 12. It's a far superior whiskey, but value-wise,
you've gotta find someone who's never had Weller 12 before. It'll be worth more to them.
Yeah.
Like,
here's the thing though.
That's what
maybe somebody has. Maybe somebody already has like three, four bottles. Somebody already has 3-4 bottles of Stag, and they've had it a number of times, but they've never gotten a Weller 12, and they want to complete a collection or something. In that case, I could see maybe trading one because you have enough of the other one if you've got backups, and if you paid retail for it, then in that case, I would say I would maybe do it.
I got my first one, my only one. I got it for $52.99 at my local shop. And I did not like it at all. I ended up trading it. I had like half a bottle left, and I traded it for a almost full bottle of Knob Creek 12 because I like the Knob Creek so much better. The proof point kills it for me on Weller 12. The proof point is
it does. It's not a horrible bottle, but I was thinking maybe if I throw in a Eagle Rare, maybe a blend, maybe somebody will. Like you said, somebody who's never had it, who's got like 4 or 5 stags, maybe they want to try it. Because I do plan on shooting a video with it. I'm not going to open it, but I do plan on shooting like a Buffalo Trace video and going over certain things.
Yeah.
So
I think if you threw in an Eagle Rare, you could probably shoot higher than a stag. I think. Like I think stag is starting to become, at least around here, stag is becoming a little easier to get.
Brian, if you can get me a bottle.
All right. So I'm getting one for my buddy. Well, I won't say for who, but somebody has asked me to try to locate them one for a Christmas gift, and I am picking that up Saturday. So I think yes, I probably could, and it's only because like this, it's at a particular store up around Buffalo, and the kid who runs it is like, I'm like, it doesn't seem like stag's more plentiful around here now. He's like, yeah, and he said that from what he hears from distributors, at least around here, they have just cases sitting in warehouses. Like it's, really? I think that whatever, if the demand fell or if I know Buffalo Trace doubled their production or whatever, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but he said that New York particularly is kind of flush with stag. So.
Wow.
I've only ever owned one. And so I'd love to get another one on my shelf. I'm dying to. I've been nursing this one for a couple of years just because I don't want to see it go.
All right.
What is the value of Weller 12 compared to Stag Junior on secondary? Anybody know?
I have no idea. Like, honestly, those Wellers are ridiculous. Like, I've seen...
Oh, yeah, they certainly are.
I got the CYPB for $75, and I was like, oh, let's see what people are buying for. It was like $400 or $500.
Oh, yeah. They go crazy for CYPB.
And I would never, like, I don't resell stuff and I don't go to secondary. I'm not that guy. So I cracked it and I was like, shit, I should have traded this or something because it's solidly underwhelming.
I would have definitely tried to find you something cool and local here to trade for that bottle.
Well,
I've always just wanted to try it. I know that was Greg's like ultimate unicorn bottle.
I'll send you a sample, Ben, because honestly, I'm not a huge fan. This is another one. It's 95 proof. It's like bland Weller. And like I got a 107 at my last raffle at my shop up the street. And this is probably the only Weller that I think is worth a damn, to me, in my opinion.
107 is solid.
What's that?
107 is solid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's like a perfect proof point. If these were all at this proof point, I think they'd be so much better. But I just never
100%.
understood the idea of watering the Weller, like especially the Weller 12, because I think watering it down to 90, you pull out all of the character of those 12 years, in my opinion.
Steven Scone said Weller 12 is 400 and Stag was 150 at a store today. Jesus.
Well, then, yeah, there you go. Myron, it feels
yes,
like
Greg from Sacramento.
Yeah, your Weller 12 is worth a couple of bottles at least, and one of them could be a Stag, and you could probably get something else out of it too, for sure.
That's why I was asking, because like if I go to a store here down in Maryland, right? So like I was in Virginia, and I walked into ABC. They had 2 sitting on the shelves, and I was like, okay. I snatched one up. I called the buddy because I was going to get a second one, and he wasn't able to come to the store. Whatever, somebody picked it up because they only allow you to get one. Like Virginia has a rule: you can only get one allocated bottle per day, so you got to pick and choose. So I was like, okay. So I got the Weller 12, and then I started thinking to myself, I said, well, I've had it before. What can I possibly get for it if I decide to just keep it and don't open it? Because I really love the 24B, the Stag 24B, man. That thing, 24A, one of my favorites. But when you come to Maryland, you can see these things sitting on the shelf for anywhere from $500, $600, $700, and then you start getting into the WLW. You're talking about anywhere from $1,200 to $2,400.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's just ridiculous. Hey, real quick, by the way, anybody in the chat, if you do want to get in the raffle, $5 super chat, I see some Patreon supporters. In the chat, if one of you wins, whoever wins tonight, if you're in the chat, you can pick which sample pack. So I got 3 different sample packs. This one's only got 2 bottles, but I'll either throw in like a C924 Elijah Craig if you want this one, or maybe you can pick from one of the 2 secondary bottles. I try to put an expensive rare bottle in each pack. And all of the expensive rare ones are really, really good.
Excuse me.
So that's my spiel.
Nice.
They do have some. Oh, thank OG Brick threw up the link there for the Patreon, because they do have some Patreon supporters in the chat. The Bourbon Jerk is in for $5. All right.
Bourbon Jerk, thanks.
Thank you, Tom. I'm adding your list or your name to the list right now. So if you fellers want to go ahead and entertain the internet for a second.
Sure. Hey, has anybody had any, while Ben's talking, any King's Family?
No.
What is it? King's Family?
King's Family Distillery?
I have not.
I think
I've never heard of that.
The one that I've heard of before is that Ryconic. I think it's some sort of rye whiskey or whatever. But this one is a wheated. There's a group on Facebook called Bourbon Together, and they do these picks like monthly. So I grabbed this one, and it's interesting. What does it mean? Maybe you guys with more experienced palates, because Brian Fisher on Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiast said this about it, and then I just opened it, and I'm getting the same thing. It almost is like zippy, like, you know what I mean? Like when you drink a wine that's like not quite finished and it's got a little zippiness, like not necessarily carbonation, but like it's got that, it's leaning towards that. How does it
almost feels textured?
Like it kind of is burning on your tongue, but almost like you drank a soda. It's weird.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like a ginger snap cookie zing to it.
Yeah.
You mean like acidicness kind of burn? Like,
yeah, but it's not like acidic, like if you drink a coffee and you get that acid sting. This is almost like on the edge of carbonation, like that kind of sweetness. It's weird.
I've actually described bourbons that way on this channel before. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But that's not like it's young, is it? Like with a wine, that's like, oh, well, it didn't mellow, it's young or whatever. I don't know, but it's weird. It's not bad. It's just an odd thing to get off a bourbon.
Generally, when I have found that note, Brian, I do find them to be on the younger side. I've never had an older whiskey that has that.
Okay.
But I mean, someone else has, and
yeah, it's interesting.
I've had ones that kind of have that, but I think it's almost kind of like if there's just the right amount of spice to it and just the right amount of proof, it almost gives you that same feeling. And I've compared it, like you just said, like a soda. It's almost like you're drinking something that's lightly carbonated or something, because it almost has a feeling to it. Almost like a little, when you said it's zippy, I thought right away of like Pop Rocks or those old candies called Zots that you would put in that, and You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
See, I
That's
got
what it
that
kinda
same
reminded me of.
feeling when I tried the rosé finish Penelope. I got like that. I said it's almost like this champagne, like you get those bubbles, like that popping,
Yep.
and like you said, like a pop rocks. But normally, if it's young, I'll get like this really sharp, grainy note. So I don't know.
Yeah. Me, a young bourbon for me, and I get this all the time when I buy something for like a craft distillery, it just tastes like rough. Like there's no other way to say it. Like, and this doesn't have that necessarily. It's just this weird, like, tang to it. I don't know. Odd.
Are they
When you
distilling
get
their
those-
own?
What's that?
Are they distilling their own?
King's Family is, I think, yes, distilling their own, because the guy who runs this Bourbon Together group went and like did this blend himself. Like, he worked with the owner and they sat down and blended this themselves. Like I said, it's interesting. I don't think I hate it. It's different for sure.
And did you say that's local?
Yeah, no, King's Family it looks like it's Tennessee. They've got a map of Tennessee on the side. So,
Okay.
but I think it came with a tater sticker and I put it over the information. So I think I probably covered up the pertinent information about where it comes from.
Oh, okay.
And you were turned on to that by neck poor believer Brian Fisher?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling Brian neck poor believer Brian Fisher, just like I call Dave Vogel saying non-bike riding Dave Vogel saying, because Brian and I like to razz each other about the neck poor.
Yes,
all
absolutely.
in good fun, of course.
Absolutely.
Good.
I gotta have Brian on sometime and like have a mediator, and we can talk about all the whiskey lore that he believes in that I don't, and vice versa.
Yeah. Stephen Scone just said Tennessee. So yeah, and I thought that I am a social studies teacher. I did figure that was the map of Tennessee, but I wasn't.
OG Brick says maybe it's their yeast strain giving it that baby puke white dog profile. Oh, God.
I'm not getting a lot of baby puke. I've had 2 kids. I am experienced with that note.
Yes, sadly, anyone who's had kids probably knows that taste. You're holding the baby up. I noticed that with my granddaughter. Anytime she's recently eaten, I keep her at below the center of gravity. Yeah, exactly. I'll start picking her up and playing with her, and it's like, oh no, she ate way too recently. This is an accident waiting to happen.
My wife made friendship bread. So where I'm at in Southern Maryland, we kind of live in Amish country, and my son, he where he works at, one of the customers gave him some friendship bread. She asked him if he had ever had it. So he said no. She said, well, one of my Amish friends gave it to me. So my wife liked it so much that she wanted to make it. So it's a 10-day process. So you've got to feed the youth for 10 days. And every time she would take like the wrapping off of it to feed it, it would smell like a bourbon. Like that. You know how you get that funk off of a bourbon, like that alcohol, grainy, weeded funk, sometimes that bready funk. It smelled exactly like that. And I was like, I said, you know what? I smelled that so much, I'm going to have to start using it on the channel, because like I'll get this funk, especially out of weeder sometimes. I'll get this funk and I can't necessarily put my like exactly explain the note. But now that she made that, like it's called a starter. It's like a 10-day starter before you even make the bread. And it just adds that smell to it.
That sounds more like, because I know people give each other like the friendship bread, like the starter or whatever, and then you give somebody else and pass it on. Then almost like when you say it's a 10-day process, that sounds more like here, you deal with this bread versus friendship bread. Because if somebody gives me something that I'm obligated to spend 10 days on, that person's not getting called back for quite some time.
Here you go, friend.
Now, I would probably do the bread. We actually did get some of that bread from our neighbors my wife made. It was really good.
It's really good. Really good.
Yeah, very, very good. let's see. Shredword says, "Hey Sean, where's that adorable pussy?" I'm assuming he's talking about a cat that you have.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure, Ben.
Yeah, it's around here somewhere. I don't know. I spend very little time talking about.
You
cats.
brought out a dog on the last episode of Whiskey 6.
Yeah, that's my boy. He's upstairs right now. I can bring him down.
What kind of dog was it? It looked like some sort of a bull something.
Yeah, he's an American Pit Bull Terrier. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's
last
his name?
week, like the dog show. Bobby had Crash on, and
His name is Cerberus.
Cerberus. Nice.
Where did you get that?
Yeah, it's a meaning behind that name.
Yeah, it's from Greek mythology. So Cerberus was the three-headed dog that guarded the gates to the underworld in Greek mythology. No one got past Cerberus. Well, that's not true. One person did in Greek mythology.
Nice. I just know the three-headed dog from the Harry Potter movies.
Right.
Yeah. So, that's where Harry Potter got it from.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So we're going to wrap this up fairly soon, but if anybody else wants to get in the raffle, Patreon supporters that are in the chat, if you win, you get to pick which flight, OGD 16-year, Knob Creek Bourbon and Rye, 3-chord, Little Book the Infinite. These are all killer bottles, by the way. Some of these are normies, but the ones that are kind of like the crown jewel of each sample pack are killers. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Rye, the Varchaz, this Nulu Double Oak. Myron, I don't know if you were still messing with your computer or not, but this got a 2-year secondary finish on it. 116 proof. Yeah, this thing is just a monster. And then, of course, we got the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor edition. So let's see. Paul Sutton is a namesake bourbon produced by our family or generations. This special release of 7-year-old barrels made from our family's century-old recipe and bottled in bond was selected by our head distiller to commemorate the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor. So, nice. Hell yeah. I don't have any Viking sound effects, otherwise I'd be busting them out.
They got the horn they play,
I have a beer, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's a horn that you can drink beer out of.
Oh, nice. Right on.
So I will be donning full Vikings garb for that review. So
Also, Stephen Scone, great minds think alike. Here is the boy right here. I opened the door. Come here, buddy. Come, Daddy. Come on.
Cheers, Steve. Rare Barrel. Again, looking forward to meeting you on Saturday. Steven's going, damn it, Sean, that's my dog's name. Oh, let's go full screen with Sean here. Hold on.
Say hi to the people.
Hi, buddy.
Look at that big boy.
Just a giant
wow. Yeah. Have you guys ever watched the show Big Mouth on Netflix?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The dog that's always like barking and like half barking and talking, and then it devolves to just like regular talking.
Yes.
That's what that dog looks like.
Just for context, for anyone that doesn't know me, I'm 6'3", so yeah, he's pretty good size.
He's a big boy. Holy smokes.
Yeah,
How heavy would you say he is?
He's right around 85, 90 pounds right now.
That's like a large toddler.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stephen, we almost got it. We almost got a brindle. So we were between a blue and a brindle, and we ended up settling on a blue, which I don't regret. He's my favorite dog ever.
How old is he?
I love watching the videos, the TikTok videos, when they get caught doing something that they're not supposed to do, and they just don't know how to look at you.
He's the same way. He is too smart, that's for sure, but always getting in trouble. He will be 9 in February. Ben.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, dogs getting caught doing something they're not supposed to do. That's always good stuff.
I can't get enough of that on my TikTok feed. Like the dogs who they're like, who did this? And they show a dog and it's like frozen. Oh shit.
Have you guys ever seen that old video called if you just go to YouTube and search Denver the Guilty Dog.
No.
I'm not.
It's hilarious. The guy comes home and he's got like a shredded open bag of cat treats that we're all eating. And he's like holding out for the camera. He's like, I don't know who did this. And he goes over to the one dog, and the one dog's just sitting there looking normal. And then he pans over to the next dog, and he's over there, and his eyes are all closed, and he's like showing his teeth, and he's just like, it's hilarious.
Weed, right? Yeah.
What's that?
He ate the weed or brownies or whatever.
This one was just he got into the cat treats.
Oh, okay.
And so it was a dog that just couldn't hide his guilt.
I saw one.
Hang on just a second.
I saw one similar, and like a dog had like eaten some of these edibles, and the dog is baked out of his mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
I saw
At
the
that
one
point, I
where
just feel bad.
the guy he says he's got like 3 dogs. He's got like 2 like yellow labs, and then he's got like a small dog. So then he goes to the dogs and he's like, who did this? Who did this? So then the one yellow lab puts his arm on the other yellow lab, like pointing to him, and then the other yellow lab turns to him and starts butting him with his head, like, you snake.
That's right.
It's like big.
Yeah, I have seen that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get my my wheel set up here, and this is where my futile attempt to share my screen. I never learn. Oh, now I'm inviting people. That's not what I want to do.
All kinds of faith in you.
Well, that's your first mistake. Window, Edge tab. Okay, how do I? Why does this never work? Every time I do this, I completely screw this up.
Operator error.
Oh, it for sure is. But I'm sharing a Microsoft Edge tab that's open.
Well, that's your problem, Microsoft Edge.
Yeah, that honestly could be the problem.
Let's see, this site will be able to see the contents of your...
So you had to go with Microsoft Edge, or?
Oh, did that work?
We can't see it. If
Oh,
that's
here we
what
go.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, there we go.
I was double clicking on the name of the tab instead of hitting the button right below it that said share that was lit up in blue.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep,
So
that is the thing you want.
Perfect.
that is the operator error right there. So, all right, let's see who is gonna win this. Let's give it a shuffle a couple of times. Can we do a little suspense here?
I like it. Let's go.
All right.
So is this Patreon
And the
plus
spin.
Come on. Nope.
Long road home.
It's
Long road home.
Shane again. But here's the thing. Shane won a raffle a while ago, and I texted him about sending him the samples, and he never got back to me. So this will be the second sample pack I owe Shane. Okay, hold on a second. Let me do this. Just in case Shane doesn't get back to me in a certain amount of time,
Okay. Back up.
or in case he wants to pay it forward, because Shane has an extensive collection. We'll do a backup. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll deal with that at the time. If Shane wants to pay that forward, or if I don't hear back from him, we'll do that raffle. Because these are important flights. These each have a really good bottle, and I want to make sure they get out to somebody for sure. So, Shane, if you're watching, or if you see this, or if you don't get my text, you're a winner. So, all right, well, I'm going to wrap it up here because I do have some other stuff to do. I don't know that I'll be able to hop on the planning stream or not. I'll try. If I can, I'll just hop on from my phone.
Okay. I think we just need to come up with some categories.
Ideas, just say them now, Ben. Say all your ideas now, and then we.
Yeah.
I feel like I could get canceled just for my ideas, even. You know?
Wow.
No, we gotta.
I'm even more interested in your ideas now, Ben.
Yeah, right? Better go on now.
So we're just doing we're like we talked about, we're not doing a guest. We're just going to kind of do like a year end. I mean, this has been our first like complete year. When did we start this? Like, when was our first episode?
This is the 12th episode.
Yeah,
We started in January.
We
Full
did.
year.
Okay, so we have officially done a full 12-month year.
Time flies. God damn.
Can you believe that? I know that. I was just thinking that my granddaughter is turning 1 on the 22nd of this month.
Wow.
We're like, good Lord, how did this happen from her being a little tiny baby to being a larger baby?
Yeah.
But to being a 1-year-old that's, starting to talk a little bit and standing up and eating real food and all that stuff. So yeah, it's wild. This has been one of the faster years of my life.
And they only get faster.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, you got older
That's-
kids too. I mean, you blink your eyes and boom. My daughter.
Yeah, we got we're empty nesters as of the end of this year. So our youngest is going to be graduating now. So we've got a 25-year-old, a 22-year-old, a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 1-year-old granddaughter.
That's awesome.
It's just-
yeah, my daughter's
Yeah, it's
graduating high
crazy.
school this year too. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. But we're gonna lean fully into the empty nest lifestyle. Not that we can anyway, because the youngest here, he's very, very trustworthy. So if we go on a vacation or something, he can obviously stay here by himself. But my wife is definitely going to have a hard time letting the last of her babies go. So we're going to have to lean into the empty nester lifestyle and really get out and do some fun stuff and go on some trips and all that stuff to keep busy. So. Yeah, anyway, well, so look out for the Whiskey 6 that's next Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Week from tonight? Okay.
Yep.
So the Whiskey 6 next Wednesday. I probably won't do a live that Wednesday because usually I don't when we do the Whiskey 6. And then I'll be back at some point for the second drawing. And if I don't get a third drawing in December because of the holidays, I'll still have this third sample pack to give away. What do you guys, tomorrow is the 3-chord Pinot Noir finish on my channel. I do have reviews of all of these that will be coming up soon. And then, I don't think maybe some bourbon hunting I've got coming up here.
Cool.
But Patreon, this will be loaded to Patreon as soon as I'm done with the live stream here. What do each of you have going on? Brian, what do you got?
Well, Lauren was just here today. We filmed a bunch of stuff. We always do all like Christmas themed stuff in December. So we did.
I liked Marie Ann's garland tinsel that she was wearing in today's video.
Well, all day too. It was crazy. But yeah, I loved it. It was Tinsel Tuesday at her school. We did Evan Williams peppermint white chocolate eggnog. Gross.
Ooh. Oh, that sounds good.
We did, you know what else we did today? This will be coming out next week, the New Riff Winter Whiskey. That is some wild stuff right there.
Okay. I never heard of that.
Did a cocktail, did a gift list, just, some holiday themed stuff. So those will be over the next couple of weeks.
All right, Myron, what do you got?
Just regular reviews, bottle hauls. Don't forget to check out, because we all share a lot of the same subscribers. So if you have not gone to my channel or any of the other channels and got the Westward picks that I did with Poor Decisions, that's Troy and Laura, that is Carlos from Whiskey Corner, that is Matt from Whiskey Wisdom, Sean from Echoes in Eternity. If you have not been over to any of our channels to get those picks, make sure you get those picks. A lot of people who are into bourbon think that they can't do American whiskey. Trust me, these are very bourbon friendly, and that's pretty much it.
Cool.
I'm looking forward to getting one of those, but my behavior these were span back like over a month ago, this bottle haul. And so I had picked up some of these expensive bottles and then bought a trip to Mexico for all the kids. So
I feel you.
But I am definitely, that's on my to-do list. As soon as I get these all reviewed and out of here and recover from that. Sean, what do you got coming up? Something hip-hop related?
What? Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
I saw that text, by the way, but I was busy hanging out with the little granddaughter last night, so I wasn't really texting back, but I was kind of following along.
Still kind of planning. Yeah, I got to figure out when it'll be good for everybody. But yeah, would love to do like just a giant, somewhat organized, deciding once and for all who is the greatest 10 rappers alive, and or dead, alive or dead. Yeah, we need a definitive list. There's a lot of crap lists out there. Also, speaking of lists, anybody else see that Pitchfork said that Ice Spice's new album was better than Kendrick's? Yeah, that's just throwing out things with terrible lists.
What?
So before we get out of here,
Pitchfork is, but it came up on my feed, so
I don't know. I would not be able to pick Kendrick Lamar out from a picture. I don't know any of his music, nothing. But then I heard a song on the radio one day that was so bad I Shazammed it just because I wanted to see if it was actually a real song. And it was that Kendrick Lamar song, They Not Like Us or some shit like that. And I was like, this is the dude that's playing the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah.
That was the worst song I've ever heard.
To each his own.
Well,
I agree.
I mean,
Fortnite.
One thing I will give you, Ben, is that song needs a lot of context, I suppose. As a song on its own, I can see why maybe you didn't enjoy it. If you understand the context, I think it means a lot more. But anyway, that's a long discussion.
I didn't like the way it sounded when it hit my ears. I turned the radio on and it's just some dude going, "They not like us. They not like," over and over and over. I'm like, what is this?
I mean,
Sean made a great point. You have to have followed the battle between him and Drake from the beginning. Because honestly, when I first heard it, being a Kendrick fan, I didn't like it until I listened to it more and I understood breaking down every lyric within the song. And he is so crafty that it's ridiculous. I mean, like, he puts shit together that you would never think of. But I
can get that.
On the face of it, you're like, what the hell is this? They not like us. They not like us. And then
it just sounded awful.
You break down the lyrics, you're like, wow, okay. I understand.
Can we just do a stream?
This is,
you know what, Ben?
We play a rap song for Ben, and he just tells us what he hears.
Ben has to be a part of the rap stream, if nothing else, just for his outside the box opinions.
Yes.
I was gonna say, this is coming from an avid Insane Clown Posse fan, but I'm also like I like older school rap. Like I like Run DMC, Cypress Hill, NWA, like all that kind of stuff. Dre, Snoop. And then, like, at a certain point, I just kind of fell off of the hip-hop wagon a little bit, and so I don't know a lot of the newer stuff. I'm kind of like that with heavy metal, too. Like, I don't really know what else is new out there. So, real quick, Stacy from 4 Leaf Whiskey is here, Hatfield Barbecue. Hatfield wondering how the Paul Sutton is. It's actually pretty good. Review coming soon. But I have to get out of here because I have some prior obligations to get to here.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I thought Post Malone was a basketball player. Nice. So, anyway, thank you guys all for joining me on here. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Don't forget to check out the Whiskey 6 next Wednesday. That'll be the year in review stream. So, at the Whiskey number 6 on YouTube. Search it, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys all there. Go subscribe to all these channels and all the channels that are in the chat as well. Everybody have a great night.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.